Okay, so yesterday we talked about the special right triangles. We did the little investigation. So flip to the last page of the notes. Okay, so last page of the notes should look like this. So let's talk about this 45, 45, 90 triangle real quick first. Okay. So what are my other sides? So if this one side is x, okay, what side goes with it? The other 45. So here's my 45 opposite, 45 opposite. Those two are going to be the same, right? So this one's x. And then what about the hypotenuse? It's going to be what? No, well, if this is length x, this one's going to be what? Look at your page we did yesterday. No. Relationship is x square root of 2. So it's square root of 2 times bigger than the sides. Okay? Alright, so here's your relationship with 45, 45, 90. Two sides are the same. Hypotenuse is always going to be that value times square root of 2. Okay? So now let's talk about 30, 60, 90. So 30, 60, 90. So no sides are the same. Okay? So the smallest side is x. Okay? What other sides do we know? What's the other leg and what's the hypotenuse? So 2x, what's 2x? The other leg or the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is double the smallest side, right? So smallest angle, smallest side. So hypotenuse then is double that, so 2x. And then what about the second leg, the other leg? Opposite to 60. What's the relationship there? Well, no? Small is half. And then the other side is what? Was it? What do we have in there? What did they always end in? What was the other side always ended in? What?
3.
Square root of 3. So this is x, smallest side, times square root of 3. Okay? Those are our relationships that we found yesterday. Okay? I'm going to show you how do you use this to solve the triangles then. Okay? Sometimes it's easier than others. So let me pull up something. Alright, so on that chapter 8 worksheet, okay? So we have our relationships over here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to look at the triangle, and I'm going to determine, is it 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 90? What is it? 45, 45, 90. So then, next thing I want you to do, I want you to label the sides, just like you have it labeled here. So x, x, and x square root of 2. Okay? So however you want to start it out, first off, find what sides are x's. Okay? So the two sides connected to my 90 are x. So here's an x. This is an x. The hypotenuse is x square root of 2. Now I look at what's given. So what's given? So we'll label. And then set equal what's given. Okay? So you're always going to have at least one side that's given. Here's my given side right here, right? So I'm going to set it equal to each other. So x equals 30. So step 3 then is solve for x if needed. Do I need to solve for x here? No, it's already by itself, right? X is already 30, okay? Now, complete the triangle. So this is x, so it's going to be what? 30. So if we look at that label x, so this one's 30. This is x square root of 2, which means it's going to be 30 square root of 2. So 30 square root of 2. So once you have solved for x, okay, you're just plugging it in on the sides you labeled. Okay? You're going to use that relationship, plug it in on the sides you labeled. So there's basically 4 little steps here. Okay? So, number 7, look at number 7. What kind of triangle is it? 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 90? 45, 45, 90. So label it x, x, x square root of 2. So where's my, what do we get labeled here? So where's my x's at? Yeah, x and y are x's, right? X and y are the same. 42 is my x square root of 2. Okay? So, take what's given and set it equal. So x square root of 2 equals 42. Okay? And then you're going to divide, right? Solving for x. So solve for x. This is x times square root of 2. So we're just dividing here by square root of 2. So those cancel. Okay? Now, so they don't want square roots in the bottom. Okay? So if you divide by a square root to get rid of it, you're going to multiply top and bottom by that square root, whether it's square root of 2 or square root of 3. Because what is this? Square root of 2 divided by square root of 2 is what? 1. I'm just multiplying it by 1, right? So what happens is this equals the number inside. So it's just a 2. Okay? And then the top is just 42 square root of 2. Okay? And then the last step to simplify would be simplify these numbers here, the big numbers. So what's 42 divided by 2? Or half of 42 is what? What's half of 42? 21. So x equals 21 square root of 2. And then that's my x. So now fill it in the x's we labeled. So 21 square root of 2, 21 square root of 2. And those are my answers. Okay. So with the 45, 45, 90, this is the hardest one, okay, because you have that square root of 2 we got to divide by. Okay? So use this kind of as your template. This always is going to be the same. You're going to divide by square root of 2, and then you're going to multiply both top and bottom by square root of 2. The bottom becomes square root of 2. Take half of that top to get our answer. Okay? All right, take a look at number 4 now. So number 4. So number 4, what kind of triangle do I have? 30, 60, 90. So let's label it, right? So remember, how do I identify these labels on 30, 60, 90? Yep, going opposite here, right? So 30 is x. So if I go 30 and go opposite, that's my ratio x. 60 and opposite is x square root of 3. And then opposite, my hypotenuse is 2x. Okay, so we have a ratio labeled. Yeah. All right, so the ratio is labeled. So set equal what we have right here. This is what we have equal, right? So 2x equals 46. So solve for x. What do I need to do? Divide by 2. So x equals 23. So now plug in your ratio. This one's x, so this is 23. And this is 23 square root of 3. And I'm done. So x here is 23. The y is the 23 square root of 3. Okay. So label, identify what's given, set it equal, solve for x, plug back in your ratio. Let's do one more here. So number 2, so this is number 2. So what kind of triangle is it? 30, 60, 90. So let's label it. So labeling it, again, opposite 30 is my x. Hypotenuse is 2x. Opposite 60 is x square root of 3. Okay. So circle what you have given. Set it equal. X square root of 3 equals 45. Right, so this is the one that's a little hard, right? So how do I solve for x? Divide by square root of 3. So remember that square root can't be in the bottom, so what do I need to do to get rid of it? Yeah, multiply by square root of 3 on top and bottom, right? So then this bottom is going to become what? What's the bottom become? Look at number 2 here. We did. So up here, it became a 2, right? So these square roots of 3 are going to become what? 3. So it becomes a whole 3. And then just rewrite the top. So 45 square root of 3. Now, look at my big numbers. What's 45 divided by 3? Can I simplify that? 45 divided by 3. 15. So x equals 15 square root of 3. So now I'm just going to plug this back in to my ratios. So 15 square root of 3. And again, 2 times that. If I double 15, what do I get? Double 15, I get 30. So 2 times 15 is 30 square root of 3. So those are my 2 answers. So x is 30 square root of 3, y 15 square root of 3. Okay?